Hello, my friends. Erin Zen Warrior signing in. And signing in regarding a really cool topic. And signing in for my projector friends. And also signing in for my friends with projector children. Projectors are non-energy beings, right? And we often refer to it as like, the 4 auras, the 4 energy types, but actually 2 of those types are non-energy types, right? They are not self-perpetuating and energetic fields that is born to create, essentially. And projectors being the largest group of the non-energy types, we're kind of everywhere. Oh, that red light is fun. 20-ish percent, 22% of the world are projectors. And projectors have a process of going from conditioned to unconditioned. Whilst everybody can absorb conditioning, projectors absorb conditioning standing in a supermarket next to someone. We absorb everything. We are the only type that absorbs so deeply. And we are the type that comes here to go through a continual process of deconditioning so that we can help you decondition and become truly yourself. So if you need help with that, get in touch with me. But don't forget to like, follow, comment, etc. as well. But see, the sad thing about projectors, and I say this as a projector, the sad thing about projectors is that we come into a world that is essentially energy run, at least thus far. It's energy obsessed, and projectors are energy obsessed. And so what a projector often does is it plugs into its local generator, probably a parent, possibly a sibling, depending on your family construct of types, and it gets some energy, and then you send it to school and it absorbs all this coulda, woulda, shoulda and needs and musts. And people tell it, you should eat breakfast, lunch and dinner, and breakfast is the most important meal of the day, which now it's fasting is the most important thing to do. And even the fasting construct is conditioning, right? And, you want more energy, you've got to eat good hearty meals. Well, a projector is a non-energy type. It is not going to get more energy from more food. Right? It should eat, yes. Should it eat as much as a generator? Probably not. And there are different types of projectors, and there's different types of cognition which relates to digestion. And if someone is right orientated, they should only eat when they're hungry. And that's probably the easiest when you're a projector, if you stick to only eat when you're hungry, because essentially by sticking to only eat when you're hungry, maybe you'll only eat just what you need. Well, you'd think so, right? Except for the fact that most projectors are incredibly conditioned to behave like super generators and super manifestors and super manifesting generators. And so what happens is they get incredibly exhausted. And they think, what can I do? I know I'll eat more because they're hungry, right? Or they think they're hungry because they're tired. So they eat more food and they still need sleep. They still don't have energy because they are non-energy types, and they're not designed to sustain energetic output because they're designed to guide energetic output, and that's quite different. But because they live in this not self world that's been run by generators for a few hundred years or so, and when I say run by, I mean orientated by the idea of sacral generator output, they're out here trying to be pure sacral beings that consume and energy output and create and, do all that sort of stuff. And so they eat more. And what invariably happens is the projector body's a little bit interesting. It's like a strange little alien body. And I say this having one. And the eating more generally leads to the body feeling heavier because everything that you eat has karma to it. And karma has a density. And the projector is not designed to be able to deal energetically with too much density because it's already dealing with a lot of density. That's already what's happening to it. Ooh, we're so in the dark here. That's already what's happening to it, right? So for my projector friends and for my friends raising projector children, I mean, kids are a bit different. When they're little, they're going to want to eat. it was very obvious when I needed to eat as a kid. I got quiet, right? I've got a defined throat. I talked a lot. Nothing has changed much. And when I get quiet, I was decompressing and I probably was hungry. And mum would be like, she's either hungry or tired, you know? And it was probably more that I was tired than that I was actually hungry. Because I remember actually often kind of hitting the wall and feeling like, I just want to stop and watch TV, or I just want to sit on the couch, or I just want to color in, or I just want to do something that's kind of nothing, you know? And so I encourage my projector friends, if you have heard eat 3 square meals a day and breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and if you want more energy, you need to eat more food. If you want more energy, well, first thing, you're never really going to have it in the way that others do. You're not designed to sustain it. You're not designed to work for more than 4 hours a day. Being an aura for more than 4 hours a day is probably super exhausting. Thank you, whoever that thumbs up was. And so there is not a food in the world that is going to get you around that. There are supplements that are going to help. I take a lot of supplements. I've become an expert in what supplement does what supplement is essential, what is needed, how to balance the system with this and that and the other thing, and why. Because I was trying to be a generator and wondering why it didn't fucking work. So wondering why after 2 weeks of trying to be a Tony Robbins manifesting generator, why I was crying. I was so broken down. And I see projectors out there that I've plugged into a nice little generator, and they get up every morning and they live their generator life, and they drink their coffee and they eat their food and they exercise hard out and they work hard and they play hard. And it's because they're plugged in and conditioned. And slowly what's happening is they are depleting their kidney chi. They are depleting their system to the point where eventually it will get very sick. And when I was 17, I had interstitial cystitis, which was essentially weak kidney chi from trying to achieve at school. I'm very alpha personality. What a surprise. And I was very, very much trying to win the fucking game. If you are a projector, it's not that you can't have a great life. In fact, all you really care about is having a great life. If you could do it without working, you totally would. You'd still want to help people because that's what you do. But if you could do it without ever getting a job, oh my God, would you? Whereas, believe it or not, generators like work. If it's the right work, they want to work. Generators that retire often die very quickly because there's no use for their life force energy anymore. But projectors don't have that. And as a result, whenever you try to be something you are not, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to reach for some form of self-medication, and often it's food that you don't actually need. The most important thing for a projector is rest. And the second most important thing for a projector is to remember that you are always being conditioned. You are always picking up stuff from out there. And it is your job to recognize what is not yours, what is merely societal conditioning, and see it for what it truly is, to see the truth, so that you can become the great recognizer of yourself and others, and so that you can really help them. And you're naturally talented at it. You're better than the next person, hands down, the next type, hands down. But the better you get at this, the better you understand your process of conditioning to deconditioning, the more masterful you become as a guide. And it's so important, because guiding is such a big responsibility. And not only do you go into others and absorb, but you go into others, and whatever you have absorbed goes with you into others. And it's really, really important to understand that that means you are also injecting into others. And so meditation is super important if you're a projector. And you can try to tell me that it's not, and there's plenty of human design people who think because meditation, blah, 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 whatever he said, bollocks. In my opinion says bollocks. Meditate, rest, observe, take your time to realize that you were here to sit on the fence. And the third and final thing I can tell you as a projector, do not let energy types tell you what you should do with your energy, because they don't fucking know. And Do not take it to heart when they judge you because they see this bright, shiny object that you are as a projector, this incredible talent that you are as a projector, and they think, imagine what I could do if I had that. And then they go about telling you what you could do with that. And here's the thing. They do not have the Achilles heel that you have. They have magic dust called a sacral, defined sacral center, or the manifestor has a different type of magic dust. And they do not understand what it is to crash every day. They do not understand what it is to desperately need rest to be correct. Manifestor maybe does, but many manifestors do not rest enough anyway. And they can, there it is. Sorry, I just drove into my driveway, and of course, where was I? Manifestor, you know, they can go for ages. They can go and go and go, the manifestor, until they've done their creation. That could be months. You need rest every day. In fact, fourth and final tip, the art of being a projector is learning what it is to rest in all moments, in all activity and non-activity, what it really is to breathe out all the time. And that is part of the magic we come to show others, how to relax in the process, how to relax into the process so that they can be incredibly energy efficient, so that we can guide the manifesting generators to winning the game, so that we can help the generators to be an incredible form of superhuman that doesn't even need sleep if it gets it right, you know? I would love to hear your comments. I would love to hear your own experience here. But I can tell you this, as a projector and also double whammy as a quad right, and for quad rights, eating is more like tuning. It's not even about energy. It's not even about trying to get food and sustenance and nutrition. It's actually more about tuning. Because a quad right is a bizarre being. Eating more food just made me bloated and heavy and sick. I needed to eat in balance for my system, and that required me to be more relaxed, more at rest, to give myself room to breathe out, to take days off when other people still would have gone to work, to really honor the integrity of what I felt in my system for myself, so that I put my own gas mask on before I helped anybody else. Because if you can't do that as a projector, you're a shitty projector, and they're really annoying. I speak from experience. Nothing worse, nothing more annoying than a shitty projector. So, have a great day. Erin Zen Warrior, signing out.